Warning, the words and actions in this video are strictly those of the solo podcast member. It does not reflect the ideas of the rest of the podcast. Viewer discretion is advised. You whiny little bitch!
Welcome, folks, to the first episode of Social Justice Throwdown. Now, fat people, or what is it, horizontally declined?
Horizontally challenged.
Horizontally challenged. You know, the ones that go sideways through those revolving doors? I believe they've gotten a little out of hand. And as somebody who's been huge before, damn near 400 pounds, I can understand where being large can just be the easy thing to do, you know, just stay fat and don't care what anyone else has to say. But it leads to heart disease, leads to slowness in movement. You're uncomfortable when you're that big. Once you lose the weight and done what I've done, and you take that amount of weight that you've lost and you put it on your back, holy shit, yo. You get scared to ever get that big. It's like a nightmare to you. It's not about trying to stay thin for the sake of just staying thin for vanity. It's about staying healthy. I mean, I'm looking at a table that says awareness of sizeism and how it operates as a system of oppression and intersections with capitalism, white supremacy, and the patriarchy. Thinness as beauty standard is actually about a hatred of fatness. I don't hate fat people. I hate that they have all the potential to be as beautiful as they want to be, as gorgeous as they want to be, even if our social standards for beauty are not exactly what everybody else thinks. I mean, because in America, the social standard of beauty is like a fat ass, you know, huge tits, and a thin waist. But in Japan, it's thin, pale skin, but we like color here. There's not exactly one exact standard of beauty. Wherever you go in the world, the standard of beauty changes. Now, with that being said, you also cannot say that being fat is healthy. Can you imagine being 400 pounds and needing to run away from a situation, but because your body is weighing you down, you don't have the power to move your legs? You can't fucking be out if you need it. And then the worst part about being that big, honestly, when I was that big and I sleep on my back. When I was that big, my wife was my girlfriend at the time. I would stop breathing in my fucking sleep. I would stop breathing. It's not a fucking cool thing. All that weight is crushing down on your internal organs. You're not meant to be that fat. Humans in the past were never that fat. If you go and look at an evolutionary chart of humans, we were never this big. We are the size we are because we've had no need to hunt and gather or forage for food. We've had no need to starve. We've had none of those problems in thousands of years because everything has been hand to mouth. I mean, we have shit like farm to table. We didn't have that years ago, so now us being large is a new problem. Obesity has taken over. The other day I watched a little kid run through, and when I asked his parents how old he was 6 years old, but the kid weighed just about as much as I do. I'm 210 pounds. This kid was shy of 200 pounds. This is not normal. A child should not be on a mobility scooter. It's not okay. It really isn't. And for a parent to allow their child to not only get that large, but to see nothing wrong with their child being that size is a huger issue all its own. The fact that you believe that being fat is adorable, is not a problem, is not a detriment to your health, that's an issue that you guys need to take a long, hard look at. And there's millions upon millions of, well, I mean, not literally millions, but thousands of studies saying that being that size is not okay. Now, if fat people want to ask for stupid shit to be passed, so will I. I've been a smoker since I was 12, and I'm going to start asking for shit. I'd like to smoke a cigarette in a bar and not be hassled. I'd like to eat at a restaurant, and as soon as I finish my dessert, I'd like to light a fucking cigarette, and the second somebody asks me for something, like, oh, can you turn off that cigarette? I should be allowed to throw water at them. I want stupid laws passed for myself because I feel I'm being, what is it?
Discriminated.
I'm discriminated for being a smoker. Now, I don't want to be that guy that throws, hate at people.
You're being that guy right now.
I know I'm being that guy right now, but here's where I stand on the entire thing. I'm not throwing hate for the sake of throwing hate. You women, you don't have to be twigs for a guy to think you're beautiful.
You gotta be thick.
No, it's not even about being thick, man. It's about there's a person for everybody. I promise you, because I was the biggest scumbag and my wife still loves me. There's a person for everybody. But there's a matter of realizing that people don't want you thin for their sake. They want you thin, and anyone who brings your weight issue to you directly isn't doing it because they hate you. They're doing it because they want you around for a long fucking time. And if you disregard that and just say, oh, they just hate me, or they're hating on the way that I feel comfortable, or they're fat shaming me. It's not even about fat shaming. It's about the lack of care for yourself. Because somebody who's been almost 400 pounds, it's not about moving forward per se. It's about making sure you have the ability to move forward. It's making sure that you can move forward. If you're that size, if you're to a point where you have a mobility scooter as your first option, if you're so lazy that you have to walk into... I've literally denied people that I know are healthy at my job. I've denied them the mobility scooter. Hey, are the mobility scooters working? I'll look them up and down and say, no, they need to be charged. You know why? Because I care. It may seem like I'm being a dick, but I care. This is the fattest country in the world. We have legitimately become the nation that weighs the continent down. I swear, one more fat person, this whole country sinks.
No, I wanted to bring this up. And a big, beautiful nation, it's Mike from the Big Beautiful Commentators. I want to let you guys know that another thing that has to be taken into effect is, along with being the fattest, we've also become the laziest. And it's affected us as a society where if you basically point something out, you're discriminating. You're basically throwing out everything that goes against the ideas of what people actually see. You can't just say and accept that being fat is something beautiful, because you will die.
I'm going to continue on the chart that I'm looking at. On this chart, it says fatness has little to nothing to do with health. Health is not a moral obligation, nor is it entirely within our control. That may be true. But I know of people who know of people and who know of people that they worked out. They almost had type 2 diabetes. They were borderline. They worked out. They got their life together. They started eating better. They cut out the sweets. They cut out the sodas. They cut out the juice. They worked out. And they don't have diabetes. Quite frankly, the way we move forward is the way that we want the world to perceive us. You know how happy I am whenever I see somebody from high school and they say, oh shit, Ant, you look great, dude. You look fucking great. Hell yeah, I look great. I busted my ass. I look fucking awesome. I am a damn good looking guy, despite what you guys are saying now. When you put in the work to make your body what you want it to be, and people take notice, it validates all the work you put in. So if you don't want to do any work and you're surprised that people are calling you a fat, lazy fucking slob, that's the kind of image you're setting out to these people. It's as simple as, do I want to be perceived as a beautiful person? Even if you're not doing it for vanity's sake, even if you're doing it so you feel better about yourself. Because working out, I shit you not, I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I am uncomfortable around people. I couldn't go to the pool and take my shirt off. I hated any kind of social instance in which I had to take off clothes. I didn't go to water parks. I didn't do anything that I wanted to do because I was ashamed of my body. And it's not internalized fat shaming. It's a fact that we shouldn't be the size that we are sometimes. Like, there's so many women that, even if they didn't want to do it for vanity's sake, so many women I come across that they're huffing and puffing. They're having a hard time walking aisles. They're having a hard time doing basic little shit. And all of that can be fixed with just a little cardio. You guys don't even have to lose weight. You just gotta have your body set to, I gotta go. You have to fix your lung capacity. As a smoker, I smoke about a pack a day. I skate 8 to 9 miles every day to get to work. My lung capacity is only this good because of the work I did on my body. If you asked me a couple years ago to skate to my job, there's no fucking way I would have been able to make it. No way. I put in the work on my body so it could work for what I needed to. You guys, you're killing yourselves, but you fool yourselves with this body positivity movement that you're not doing any harm to yourself.
The healthy at any size shit.
The healthy at any size, that's so much bullshit. You guys are literally killing yourselves faster than my cigarettes will ever kill me. And I smoke a pack a day, and I make my own cigarettes. So I constantly have a cigarette. I mean, as we speak, I've got an entire pack right here. You guys are gonna fucking kill yourselves. And it's not me trying to be an asshole. It's not me trying to destroy what you guys feel about yourselves. No, I want you guys to go out there and feel way better. If you guys feel like shit now, imagine how awesome you will feel when you've fucking busted your ass and made it work. Addressing fat phobia in our spaces, especially in food, justice, sustainable food, and movement. Now, sustainable food is awesome. And a phobia of eating or a phobia of dealing with fat people, that's how they justify being large and just automatically turning around and calling you a hater for disliking the way that they take care of themselves. When I see people the size that I used to be, it doesn't make me mad. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't do anything but upset me. Because I know what I was capable of, and I know what the world is capable of, man. I know that we can push forward and be better than what we are now, but we've just become complacent. And complacency is just the biggest issue here. This complacency with what we've got going on, people, rather than working hard and making themselves better, they want to sit there and accept whatever they're given and get larger and larger instead of just becoming a stronger, better human. I mean, even if you became a vain douchebag after you've lost the weight, you've earned that right, man. You've earned the right. You've earned the right. Because you know what? You worked hard. And if that's how you feel about your body, you feel like you can get whoever you want, whenever you want. If that's how you feel, go on with your bad self. I don't care. But you've worked hard enough that you can justify your actions. It doesn't matter.
And I just wanted to bring this up. Even to the people who, instead of just doing the work, but went to get medical procedures done to actually get that stuff removed, still, you built up the money to do so. As Anthony stated, go on with your bad self. Fucking do it.
Work to combat sizeism and prioritize fat liberation as a part of radical movements. Now, what this says to me in all is we don't care about our bodies. We want to be accepted for who we are. And granted, I'll accept you. I'll love you no matter what you are.
I will probably make fun of you.
But acceptance goes both ways. You guys skinny shame just as quickly as you get upset as people fat shame. You guys skinny shame because there's a part of you, the rational part, that says, maybe I shouldn't be this way. And that rational part screams in the back of your head to a point where you have to shame somebody because they're not as fat as you. I don't remember ever recalling it being okay to be fat. And before you say, I just don't like thick women, let's keep in mind that my cigarette case is a photo of Marilyn Monroe. And she was a thick, hot lady. And I don't want to fight anybody here, because I'll leave that up to Mike, because he'll happily do it.
Indeed.
But if you care for yourself, you'll care enough to just put in 10 minutes on a treadmill, 5 minutes on a fucking elliptical. It doesn't matter what you do. It matters how you perceive yourself. And if you're completely happy and complacent with where you are, I probably won't see you in the next 5 years, because you would balloon to a point where you can't leave your home. And believe me when I say how easily it is in a culture where we just order everything direct to door, where it is so easy to just get a nurse, get huge, and leave yourself to rot. When you guys have bed sores and there's not a team strong enough to turn your fat ass over in your bed to relieve the pain from your bed sores, the only person you'll have to blame is yourself. I don't want to be a douche. I don't want to be rude. I just want to be honest with you guys. You guys are going to die a slow and painful death and get stuck fighting an online war as white knights because you can't do it in person anymore. Because doing it in person would mean you'd have to show yourself to these people and giving them more ammunition. You're not doing anything for yourself except for becoming a weaker human. That's all I got to say for this one.